muffin.
We're back! Oh my god. The subtitles are beautiful. Just kick it in the butt, Red Muffin. Good lord.
That is
Welcome.
not what I said.
Hey, we weren't live. That's the subtitles word against yours, Ren.
Wait, so who's Red Muffin then?
Probably me.
OBS is being a real jerk today. So
Maybe it's a code name for one of the NPCs.
Oh, golly.
okay.
Yeah, Nelly.
I'm carrying it. I think we should explore and assess the lighthouse.
Well, the lighthouse is pretty far away.
And it is getting dark.
What's the nearest building that has food in it?
Well, you are now off the docks and you are on a road. There are a couple of smaller sort of house probably looking like buildings around you. And you do see a larger building, probably about 30-40 feet ahead of you on the road. It looks from, the light of the beetle and everything, like it is probably at least some sort of official building, or maybe even
Drixelin.
something useful.
It's about 30 feet away. If you use your action to dash, then with your movement doubled, you should be able to reach the back of the house while we circle along with you by using our actions.
You're just speaking gibberish there, son. Is this whole situation getting you?
Very nervous.
Are you asking me to walk up to the house?
Yes, I think you, as our newest member, should approach this officer's building or mayor's house. I'm certain there will be clues as to what has occurred.
He's quite brave.
I mean, I would settle. Yeah,
I lean
I
in.
would just settle for.
I lead into direct.
I also want to see if he's leading us into a trap so he'll open all the doors.
You realize you're also speaking right into his ear.
Oh my god! You're on his shoulder! What are you doing there still?
Precisely. All right, so
That's really smooth, Alec.
Nelly
What?
is looking around and points up. There are signs, actually. Looks like.
I can read.
Can you?
I just can't see the words. Oichi, help me.
He can't read. I read them.
You work in the library. What do they say?
All right.
does?
Oishi, you look up at the signs and you see, in sort of like that nice engraved, wooden chiseled lettering with gold painted into it, the Queen's Arms Inn, with an arrow pointing at the big building.
It says it's an inn.
Does it say who owns it?
His arms.
When does it open?
I don't think it's gonna open anytime soon. We should just go in.
Well, then when does it close? I don't want to barge in.
Well, you can knock before we go in.
While they're talking, I sort of just hop off and start skittering my way to the inn.
Okay.
I'm with
Yeah.
them. And Nelly follows you.
So I have 30 feet of movement as a giant fire beetle.
All right. So what you see when you look at this, what is now apparently the inn, is a large wooden tavern type structure with open windows, and you see that it has shutters, like you ever been to one of those like summer camps that has like those wooden shutters that go, you pull them down? It has shutters that are all open, and they're held open with planks of wood against the wind, because you're on a coastal area. It's fairly windy. There is a steady, low sort of thunk thunk as the shutters resist their binds. The strongly floral and ocean scent that you have been smelling in this hot, almost jungly weather is at this point being combated a little bit by another smell now. It is a slight kind of just wafting of rotting maybe vegetables? I'm not quite sure. And there's no lights on inside.
I skitter through one of the windows.
Alright, yeah, there's no screens or anything. And you just skitter on into, and you end up on top of a table. As you skitter down, you sort of knock over a teacup and a couple of other things. And you look inside and it's totally dark.
With
Except for your
10
light.
foot. Yeah.
There's no lights on is what I meant to say. There's no humans inside, no kind of life, no music playing.
I go look for the pantry.
Are the rest of you going to head in or wait for the beetle to give you?
Rourke is going to try the door.
She will kind of use Burrick as cover. And just pull out the pot lid and
I will oversee this operation from over here.
The door is not locked. The door is wide open. It wasn't even latched in any capacity. Just swinging freely.
No, just swing it open and walk in.
Right, yeah. As you all walk in, the Queen's Arms Inn is completely devoid of life, and the cloying smell of decay becomes enveloping. There is a long table in the center of the room with a spread laid out. Cheeses that clearly have begun to harden in the air, bread beset by flies, teacups that appear to have a film over their varying states of drunk.
she pulls down her bandana and like covers her nose with it, and then uses the artificer thingy to make it smell like strawberries and lemon.
I'm jealous.
It appears no one's been here for quite a while.
I will permit anybody who wants to make either just sort of a general investigation or even nature check if they feel like determining any more about length of time that it has been like this or etc.
20 on investigation.
30-20?
Could
30-20.
I actually make a history check and see what queen it might be referring to, this name of the inn?
Almost certainly it is probably, you don't even need a history check for this. It is almost certainly a Lorrainian establishment. They tend to name half of their things after just the queen in general. They are a monarchy sort of situation that is run by hereditary queens. Their currency in all of the land that they have sort of foisted upon everyone else is the Queen's ounce, as you know. So you just sort of assume Queen's Arms is probably going along with the prosperity theme, just sort of inviting in money, etc., etc.
Palak
This reminds
thinks
me of home.
Palak thinks that it's literally the queen's weapons, her arms. So he's very cautious.
Anyway, so Browick rolled 12 on his nature check.
16 on Weishi's investigation.
11 for nature check for direct as a beetle.
All right, direct is sort of took a little glance at the whole situation and didn't think anything of it. You said making their way to the pantry, so
Yep.
they're making their way to the pantry.
There's just like a small low glow coming from wherever that is.
Broruk, it's food. It's Probably been there a little while. Oishi, you are... I honestly probably should have had you roll with advantage for this. You and Drixelin sort of take a look at this food and the state of the tea, etc. And you think that it really can't have been like this for really any longer than maybe a day and a half. And Oishi, as you are Loranian, you know that tea time is at 3. And using all of that knowledge combined, you think that probably this tea layout was probably yesterday at 3.
So, not to alarm anybody, but I think this happened literally yesterday at 3.
Drixelin, with your investigation with a dirty 20, however, as Oishi is paying extra close attention to the food, you take note of a couple of other things. The chairs aren't pushed out abruptly. All of the food is in varying states of being eaten. There's no sign of a struggle or anyone having left in a rush. The seats are all actually even like pushed in as if people were still sitting in them, but like there's just no one here.
Mm-hmm. I don't like the looks of this at all. It's almost as if people just disappeared.
Disappeared, or did they just walk off of their own volition for no reason?
I would say disappeared.
And after Drixelin says disappeared, you all kind of look around and you realize there's hats still on pegs. There are gloves still folded up on the tables. It's just very strange.
Where she starts like muttering to herself and essentially starting to cast purify food and drink.
On all of the high tea layout?
On everything that is in front of her.
That is wonderful. You... No problem. You purified the food and drink to the state where, if you all wanted, you could sit down and have morbid high tea right now if you want. And which Nelly does. Nelly pulls out a chair and starts eating.
She sits next to her.
Very quick before Duroct comes back, and she forces us to eat good berries. They'll do it. You know they will. And Drixelin.
Yeah.
Have you ever had good berries? That's it. This one understands, Brorek. I'd like
Brorek's not paying attention. He's just made a massive sandwich out of something and is just chomping away.
All right. What other buildings are along this road?
Sorry, I was just typing something to you on the thingy. Okay, you look out, and you sort of poke your head around, and you see maybe about 7 or 8 sort of small shack, like probably just houses, and you see a couple of larger buildings, and with the lights that Oishi has been popping back on, you see one building that has over it field office. To your left you see library, and that's all you can see from your vantage point at this particular window.
Zoom.
You
Library.
leave and you go run around?
Yes.
Oh, you go to the library.
Yes. I go, I see a library!
Alright. I will pop back to you then as we run back to Duroct, heading to the pantry. Are you still in beetle form?
Yep.
Alright. You head to the back of the Queen's Arms Inn. You see sort of there's like a bar area, and then there's a larger set of doors with curtains, and you go through those curtains. and you see sort of the prep area, countertops, and sort of a brick oven situation. There's actually still, if you just like as you're zooming by, you see that there are still just a couple of coals, still slightly orange in the wall brick oven, and you head to the pantry room, which is rather well stocked. Are you looking for a particular snack?
Oh no, just looking for food supplies. And do I get the sense that this place would have like a cold storage cellar or basement or something of that sort?
You look around and you don't see immediately any access to cold storage. You don't know that anything that has been built around here has, had time to do sort of proper foundation work and real thorough digging yet. The intent of much of these sort of shoreside settlements was always sort of a temporary thing, but moving inland, exploring, field offices, etc., to keep going further in.
Okay. I take stock of the supplies. Like, do they look like they're, because I don't think I was quite there when I know the spread look like that's where the spoilage is, but does the pantry look like it has like spoilage, like things have been sitting here for weeks unattended, uneaten, or anything of that sort?
Nope. It's just a well-stocked pantry.
Okay.
There is a little bit of smell of rot as you poke your head back in the kitchen area, and you see that there are some cutting boards that are kind of mid-prep of probably like a dinner situation. You see some pots just cold with a little bit of film over them on the stove.
I turn back into myself and spend some time in the kitchen ritual casting purify food and drink.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. There was what was the beginning of some sort of fish stew, something going on the stove that you're able to sort of purify and make into the beginnings of something if you were to sort of, turn fire on. You could probably continue cooking the dinner if you wanted to.
Yeah, I start like with tinder and like mundane, I start lighting fires.
Yeah. It takes fairly no time at all for all of you with your purifiers and your lights to get rid of the smell and make this whole tavern fairly functional again. As you're cleaning up the kitchen, you see on the countertop a piece of paper next to some of the stew making supplies. It just says Mrs. Darling's famous stew recipe and just ingredients.
And I take that with me as I come out to the kitchen and I say, Oishi, you might be interested in this later, but I guess we can make supper here as well. I thought I'd get that going.
Oh, okay. Wait, she just like immediately bolts as fast as her little gnome legs can carry her and runs into the kitchen and gets to work immediately.
Really like this kitchen. It's actually very well laid out. For somebody of a short stature to get around. And honestly, you're sort of looking around and you're like, I would have, done a few things differently, but I could have worked in a kitchen like this.
Does the height of like most of the cooking surfaces and everything suggest that maybe it's meant for like a gnome or a halfling or?
Probably. You with the ease of which you were getting around, and you didn't even kind of notice it, as you were just looking around, you're like, oh, maybe Mrs. Darling was a dwarf. Or a halfling. Huh.
Yeah. This is a nice place. At least to set up for the evening. I can go check and see if there's beds and bedding, if this is an inn. And I just walk off and start looking for a bed, like bedrooms or beds or bedding.
All right. And we'll pop over to Pellic again real quick. You run outside, and you go to the library, which actually is locked, the front door to it.
Is there a window?
Yeah, it's a sort of tan with light blue trim building. The shutters are tan. The door is sort of a painted light blue. It's very coastal town. And right beside the door to the left is a window with shutters that are closed.
Alright. Is there maybe like an open window, maybe? Or like a chimney?
Well, you can go around the whole thing and look if you want, but the all of the windows are closed. But they are wooden shutters that have just like a little sort of flashy thing on them.
Alright, in that case, I will attempt to open one, I guess.
You are rather short for this particular situation. The latches don't look locked, but they do look like you need to reach up and unhook it.
I have a javelin.
Okay. Give me a
Sleight,
a dex or yeah,
like a sleight of hand.
Like a sleight of hand to use the tip of your javelin to flick open.
All right, I'm gonna roll it. Oh. Okay, I got a 19 plus 5 is 24.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah. And you just take your javelin, even one-handed, and just flick open the two latches and the wooden shutters open up.
I peek inside. Is it dark?
You see that it is dark, and there is a screen, but no glass panes.
I have dark vision. Could I crawl through?
I'm gonna need, because you said you are less than 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna need a athletics check to just jump up and hoist yourself over this.
Okay.
And there is a screen, so you have to figure out how you're gonna sort of get through that as well.
Javelin!
Okay, well it's trivial to break through the screen with the javelin before you start jumping.
Yeah.
I just was curious if you were gonna start with the property damage first. Okay, cool.
8!
Noted. An 8?
Yeah. For an
that
athletics.
That was for the athletics? Alright, you jump up, you get your hands on this windowsill, and you kind of fall down, and you do scrape your fingernails up a little bit on the descent back down.
No, my dragon claws. He sniffles a bit and he comes back to the inn.
As you sniffle and you go to turn back to the inn, you do hear a voice call out, "What you doing?" And we're gonna pause there and go back to everyone else who are in the inn. Yes, you do find that there are stairs that go up to a second floor of this inn, which has a number of rooms. There are sort of 4 on each side of the hallway, and a couple of them are locked, but a couple of them are unlocked and seem to have no personal possessions in them. There are 3 unlocked rooms that have nobody's stuff in them, and 5 locked rooms.
While looking around, Trixon be like, I wonder if this is related to the distress signal you all received. If you don't mind me asking, who was the distress signal from?
It was from their lighthouse. Mentioned something called the bells.
The bells.
Yeah, they did that, their sort of flashing lights code thing. You know, that lighthouse that's up there on the cliffs.
So we don't know who sent out the distress signal.
Probably the people that work in the lighthouse.
Possibly.
Brilliant.
Would it be possible for me to do an Arcana check to see if I can recognize if there's any magic done in the area?
Are you doing just sort of like a just casual sort of poking around looking for signs of magic that has been done, or are you doing an actual detect magic?
Like poking around to see if there's like signs of magic that would have been done. You know, I don't have detect magic. So.
Okay. Yeah, do an Arcana check. And let me know what you got.
Okay. 19.
19. All right. Apologies, residual cold. You don't see anything inside this building that is giving you off any idea that anybody has recently cast magic in here. You don't, like, nothing is kind of like, you know, pinging off any of your investigation senses in that particular regard. As you walk by a window, you do take a moment to sort of, and this is one of the back windows of the tavern. It does afford you a look at sort of the more inland parts of the town. And do Merfolk have dark vision? I feel like because they are underwater and the water is dark, like that makes sense too.
You're on mute.
I should also have
Let me
checked
let me check real quick. We do not have dark vision.
Okay. Then you simply see some outlines of some other buildings, both sort of medium and small. Nothing as large as this building. And you kind of are a little frustrated with not being able to see anything, but then out of just a slight sort of sense, you look up and you see that for kind of a moment, as the sun is setting its just last fragments of light through the tree line, there is just a sort of flash of a murky kind of purpleness to the sky, like just like a slight residual magic something, and then it is completely dark and you can't see anything else.
Could someone come take a look? Does you see anything out there up by the just where the sunset occurred? I thought I saw something.
I don't see nothing. Nellie's real helpful.
Do I see anything?
You are a dwarf.
I have 60 foot. I
Perfect.
think, just
Okay. You sort of look up out the window and you can see one building that's kind of medium-sized. From this far away, you can't read what the little placard outside of the door says, but you can see that it has just a faint, almost murky kind of shimmer around it, like when you look at something in the summer heat and there's that kind of haze around it. Everything else is clear, but this one building is in a haze.
Maybe I should go see if there's any magical aura around it. And I will head in that direction and ritual cast detect magic.
So to head in that direction, you have to go back out the front door that you all came in.
Mhm.
And as you do that, you open up the door and you go to turn left, and you see what looks like probably Halleck, who is up against a building, and a tall elven woman is pointing a rather large gun at him. Behind the tall elven woman is a group, I don't know military group sizes, but a retinue of matchy sort of uniformed soldiers. The elven woman is wearing a very severe blue pinstripe coat over a long skirt. She has tan skin and blonde curls, very severely put up in a bun with cascading curls. Clearly attempting to put all of this together in some sort of fashion of professionalism with a blue beret, and has the gun pointed at you, Alec. I said, what are you doing?
I am investigating the situation in Prosperity in the name of the Lore Eater from the Lead Barrows.
You
I
don't
hate
know anything,
guns!
do you? She sort of points the gun at the ground. What happened here?
Could you tell me? I don't know what happened here. I was going into the library to see if there's any records.
Where is everyone?
The only people here are the ones that I came with. We actually just arrived. We have a flying boat.
She looks up, she looks over, and she sees you. Drocked. You!
Yes, me.
Yes, you.
Yes, me.
Direct, help! Help!
What happened here?
Well, clearly some people sat down for supper and then just vanished. And we just were recovering the food that was in there and settling in for the night. And we saw something weird, and I pointed in the direction of where I was going to head. And I was going to see if there was some sort of magical aura or something going on. And then we find you. Are you going to shoot my friend? Because if you shoot my friend, I'm going to have to turn into something probably big and maul you to death, and then that would just be too messy.
Not going to shoot your friend. He doesn't seem to know anything. But he did look like he was breaking into a building.
The door is locked.
Ah, well, if it's been abandoned, breaking a lock shouldn't be an issue, should it?
I broke the window screen.
I am Major Cassette Isono of the Kasai military, and I will decide if the place has been abandoned long enough to take squatters' rights.
Okay. Did you also see the distress beacon? Or distress signal from the lighthouse?
No, there was a distress signal from the lighthouse.
That's why we're
Oh.
here.
We're just on patrol. We were here yesterday morning and everyone was here.
Ah, so Oishi was right. They had sat down for tea and then just vanished.
Everyone?
Pretty much.
And she's looking around.
Now, excuse me, I'm gonna investigate this aura over here. Maybe that'll...
I would prefer nobody investigates anything before you said there's other people here.
Yeah, we're all at the inn.
Alright.
With some bandit prisoners.
We came on the
prisoners.
Oleander Song by Captain Marjorie.
She looks off in the direction of the dock. That ship is too large to dock here. Where is it?
We took a smaller ship. Because of the distress signal. We were
Everything is fine with the Oleander Song, then.
Yeah. Well, there were some bandits who attacked us, but then we captured them, and they're coming with us just in case this is their base of operations, or if they know more.
Were there any casualties?
I don't think so.
Good.
Would you like
All right,
to?
you have how many with you? And bandits.
7 of us and 2 bandits.
All right. Let's all go into
The library?
the inn. And she turns and she sort of gives some of her soldiers some instructions, and a handful of them walk into the inn with all of you, and a handful of them stay outside. And Drixellen and Brorook, you see everyone walk back in with some soldiers all wearing blue, and tall elven woman.
Brorook is just going to use his arm and sweep a little bit more of the food to himself, just to make sure that they don't get any ideas to share in his particular portion. But he seems nonplussed by it and just continues to eat.
They don't make any move to take any of your food. They're very stoic. Hello there.
Are you the official welcoming committee?
I should think not.
So then are you investigating as well?
We just do patrols of the area, and we came back here for the evening.
They point guns at people.
So does Oishi.
She cocks her head, and then she decides to consciously ignore that statement.
She does not just point guns at people. She has reasons.
Oh, so if you stay here, perhaps you know what happened to these people.
We have already discussed that outside. I have no idea.
Well, then I guess I'm off to investigate that murky aura. Be right back.
I should think.
And I just go.
I follow, but I steal a cheese lump from Brorook first.
You're gonna have to either sleight of hand if you're trying to do that without him noticing. Yep. All right. Sleight of hand and Brorook. What'd you get?
A 12.
Yes, Brorook, who is, in talks with Cassette Asano, still has a passive perception of 15, and Brorook, you catch Halleck attempting to reach over and grab some cheese.
You see Brorook casually pull out his hand axe and just slam it right next to the lump of cheese. With just a grunt.
Yipe.
And just let it thunk into the table. And then just glance on over. And then just maybe flick the lump of cheese at him. At Palak and just say, next time ask first.
It's Colby Jack. It's just Colby Jack. Nobody eats Colby Jack but kobolds.
And I pick it up and I take it.
At that moment, you all hear a loud scuffling, some screams, and a soldier rushes in to the doors of the tavern. Ma'am. Yes, what? We're being attacked. All right then, formations. And she and the rest of the soldiers rush outside.
Well,
And you start to hear the sound of fighting.
I head outside, and as I step through the threshold of the door, I turn into a brown bear.
Woo! All right, a brown bear emerges from the door. Does everyone else stay inside, or do the rest of you come outside?
Brorook is just going to grab his longbow in his quiver, and he's actually going to go up to the second floor and basically set up shop as a sniper with his longbow and peer out the window.
That is genius.
Dricklin will head out.
Right. Everyone else who didn't head out, the windows are all wide open.
I jump out a window.
So what?
Where she kind of like pokes her head around from the kitchen. She's like, "Did anyone want? Where is everyone?" She pulls out her pistol and like grabs the pot lid that's probably burning her hand at this point.
No.
Hello?
Oven mitt. Use your oven mitt.
You see a little bit of like a bare butt sticking into the tavern door, but everyone else has sort of scuffled away. And everyone who has either gone outside or is looking outside through a window sees that all of the Kasai soldiers are now in just a really rough, disorganized combat with other humanoids. They're wearing sort of tattered clothing, and they're sort of just making like kind of guttural noises, not growls, just like kind of suction-y kind of like sounds coming out of their mouths. And they are fighting the soldiers who are, shooting at them. And they also have swords, and sort of, cutting them down gently. They don't seem like they are really trying to kill. But the combatants that are attacking these soldiers are sort of punching and clawing and biting, and they don't have weapons of their own, but they are just going at the soldiers in a very sort of feral way. And we are about to take a break, because I like to do that sort of thing when it's at a moment. So we're gonna all take a little hydration and stretch moment, but why not everyone else head on over to Roll20 and start your free account today if you don't already. It's a great program. And we want to give a quick shout out to our amazing patrons, especially those in the host with the most tier, for making the channel possible. So huge love to Captain Jack, Nerdy Teddy, and Jacob. And we will be back in about 5 minutes.
Let's go ahead to our little break movie with more messages from our sponsors.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot, your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware, it's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Yay, I turned the audio back on so everyone can hear us.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Prosperous Wins. We are in a spooky abandoned town, and our brave would-be heroes on a rescue mission have now been accosted by something outside of the abandoned inn that they have made their own for right now.
By the way, should I change the music to something else? This sounds a very calm, hectic battle.
Are you listening to not the same thing that I'm listening to?
I'm listening to... Oh! I see. I know what's happening. There we go. Alright.
Okay, because I have something very different playing
Yeah,
on 20 right now.
I have combat playing now.
Okay.
Okay.
I have my songs labeled. I should probably stop labeling them in a spoilery way. But yes, the song that I labeled as combat is good.
Sure.
Yes, so, recap for everyone that may have just popped in, who knows. We are outside of the Queen's Arms Tavern. There are a number of soldiers being beset upon by feral humanoids. We have a bear that is poking out of the double doors of the tavern. We have an archer on the second floor of the tavern. We have a kobold that has just launched himself out of one of the open windows. We have a chef who is about to walk out.
I'd say she's
building,
hunkered down
maybe?
under a window.
A hunkered down chef. And a half orc is the archer. And a merfolk who is also watching this all go down. You all see Cassette Asano sort of ordering her soldiers around. They are, a pretty well-oiled little militia team, and everything seems to be going fairly well for them. But out of the right, another group of these humanoids do kind of rush at the group of you, and we will roll initiative. I already rolled initiative for all of the things that I need to roll for during the break, so I'll just have all of you do all of your rolls and math, and when you're all done, I will ask for numbers in a descending order. If anyone is ready, did anyone get above a 20? Alright, where's Palak on this here order?
22!
Nice.
I nimbly emerge from the window.
Alright, 15 to 20.
18.
19.
Brorick rolled 18.
Okay. Then, Oishi, what'd you get?
19.
Oh, alright. Who has the higher dex?
Definitely Brorick, because I have a 0.
Okay. Or no, Oishi.
Oh, I have
versus-
19.
Okay. Okay, so we've got Palak, somebody else, Oishi, Drixelin, Direct, Brorick,
7.
and everyone else. Oh wait, who said 7?
7.
Oh, I thought you had said 18.
That was not me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, had we taken a long rest since the first this morning ship encounter?
Uh-oh.
I would say that you have taken a short rest. I should have dealt with that. Apologies. Because it is still the same day. I do not think that any of you had lost any hit points in that fight.
And
My pride, perhaps.
There's spell slots.
I have been ritually casting all the time,
Oh.
so I have not been using mic.
No, you know what? I decided to forgo that, and I forgot because you all leveled. So we're just hand waving that. It's now your level 2. So
I have spell slots again.
it's like a fresh thing. That was a Skixy noise. All right. Essence. All right. So, Halleck,
Yeah.
from your right, you see rushing at you 6 just lunging people. A couple of them are wearing, fairly nice clothes, but they're tattered. And from the light that is going off from the thing that you are still holding, you see that some of them have kind of like scratches and wounds that seem to be kind of like greenish tinged. You're not really sure what is happening there. It's all going a little bit too fast because they're rushing at you, and you just have time to react.
They're rushing at me?
In the direction of all of you.
Ah!
Just all like fingernails and fists.
Oh boy. You know what? I'm going to draw out my scimitars. So Palak says it like that. And as they come forth, he will slash at them with the attack action and use his bonus action to slash again. So, my first attack is a 15.
Alright. Now, do you prefer to do all of your attack rolls at once and then say the damage, or attack damage, attack damage?
I think I'll do attack damage and then attack damage after. Like
Okay.
each roll to hit, I think.
Okay. So the one that has come closest to you, you hit.
Great. I will down you. I'm gonna show that gnome that I too can take out kneecaps. Okay, the damage. Oh my gosh, I have to click. Ooh. 7 slashing damage. And
Okay.
I will also attack once more, but I do not add my dexterity modifier to this attack.
I got 6.
You kind of flail a little bit at that one and don't make contact.
I back up.
Where?
It's my offhand! My offhand!
You can't back up very far because you had just launched yourself out of the
I did.
tavern window, so you are just backed up against the building right now. Do you have any bonus actions that you need to take?
Oh, that was my bonus action to attack again.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Or rather, to continue.
In that case, the one that is directly in front of you, it's not their turn, but you do see a slightly taller
Oh, bless him.
not it. Looks like sort of a male. Oh, my voice is already starting to fail, and there's only 10. Sort of a male, taller figure rush sort of actually at the direction of the bear. And it is wearing what looks like actually the same uniform as the soldiers, but is just making a dive bomb for the bear.
Did the one I slashed with my scimitar, did it bleed?
Yes,
Okay, good.
regular red blood.
That's a good
You got the
thing
knees,
for some
right?
reason.
You kind of like got the legs.
Yeah.
So direct in your bear form, I have rolled a 13 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right. One.
One damage?
Slashing damage. This man lunges on top of your bear form, and it just... It's not really... It doesn't have any weapons. It just has kind of gross, overgrown fingernails, and it's just sinking them into you. And it is actually going to bite down. I rolled a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And that is 3 piercing damage.
Okay. I'm still a bear. My armor class is 11 as a bear.
Wow.
Well, you're big and I guess squishy.
I have lots of hit points as a bear.
Oh, well, that's good. Oishi, you are up.
All right. Which is the thing that's attacking Dra, like on the side I'm on, or the other side? Like, can I see what's going down, or?
Yes, you are kind of behind. You aren't through the building yet, but you can see that a man has lunged on top of Diract.
Okay. Oishi's gonna whip out Sir Bangington and line up a shot and try to pick off the scary, large people that is attacking the bear.
All right.
Does a 12 hit?
12 does not hit. There's a lot of flailing, and you're trying to line up the shot, and it just goes past it.
Right. Oishi kind of like runs under a table and then sets up camp. So.
Okay. Not hard to do. If you are sort of just taking your move to just rush under a table and make sure that your next shot is well lined up, I'm just going to, because I like to throw sort of things in like this, give you advantage on your next attack. Because you're coming from a place of a stable, a good vantage point to shoot from. Dara.
I am going to snarl at this this insult of a person. And I am going to bite and claw, because as a bear I've got multi-attack.
There is no reaction from this person.
Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
So that's 6 piercing.
Okay.
And then not a nat 20, but a 20 for the claw. And they take 15 slashing.
Alright, when you hit the first time, the man opens his mouth, and you don't hear a scream, you don't hear a growl, anything like that. You just hear a very watery suction noise. And then you attack again, and feel free to explain how you completely eviscerate this guy.
I think when the mouth opens, I just kind of slash their throat. Like, get off me!
Alright.
And I bound towards the next person.
Perfect. Yes, so blood sprays, and he just slumps to the ground. And Baroque, you are upstairs, aiming down. There are now a number, if you have an entire vantage point. You can see that there are soldiers in melee with a number of other of these forces that are attacking, and 5 that are an immediate threat to the people that you came here with.
Do I, in my vantage point, can I do a quick scan and see if there's any person directing the feral humans that are attacking?
Absolutely. You take a look around, and you don't see anybody other than the soldiers and let's just call them feral humans at this point.
But they're dressed in, just normal clothes, right?
Normal,
Just...
buried clothes, yeah.
So Browick's going to call out.
matchy.
Yeah. So Browick's going to call out as like, I think these are the townspeople. don't think we should be murdering them.
That's why I
But he's
went for
gonna
the
line up.
kneecaps.
Yeah, but he's gonna line up a shot and